Hey everyone, I am back with another unsponsored Buffbunny collection YouTube review. I am reviewing the pieces that I purchased from the Strong AF collection last month, and I needed time to wear these pieces. I am back into tap dance teaching, I'm a powerlifter, I am a chiropractor, and I also am planning my wedding for the end of this month. So there's a lot going on. If you want to follow me over on Instagram, my Instagram is ChelseaCourtland93, and you can see me wearing the pieces over there, doing my tap dancing things, powerlifting, and if you have any questions, you can shoot me a DM there, comment down below. Please like this video, share, and subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me, and maybe one day I will have a Buffbunny collection code for y'all to use. In the meantime, I will just keep reviewing these pieces for anyone who is like me, a BTC member on a small frame, especially having a natural chest. They act differently than enhanced chests, and with seamless pieces, it can be really hard for us to find sports bras. So I will be going through color comparisons to start, and then I will be going through the pieces after that. If you have any questions, like I said, please let me know, and let's get started. I briefly wanted to touch on the Strong AF campaign. This is a second collaboration with Stewart. Her Juicy collaboration last year did amazing, and she had really wanted these miracle shorts that are really the main feature of this collaboration to come out last year, but they just weren't ready. So that's why when they finally launched them, they wanted to attach Bailey to it because she really helped bring these to life. They're her baby, and so she did, again, an awesome job. She loves ombre. She loves that more mermaid, aquamarine aesthetic, if you will, and so you can really see that come through in this launch. She also loves seamless, aggressive scrunch, and really just making your glutes look as good as they can look. So I think she did a great job in her second collaboration with Buffbunny collection. Alright, the first color comparison I want to do was for the Ultraviolet Ombre. When I saw this ombre, I knew I needed it because I love pop rocks, and this launch had a ton of ombre colorways in it, which made me super happy because I love just unique colorways and patterns, but they also did have solids and more neutrals, so don't let that scare you. If you're someone who likes to just have more neutrals, you have those options as well. But this Ultraviolet Ombre really for me was a standout. It is supposed to be Warhead, which launched in Unbreakable originally, down into pop rocks. So when I first saw it though, I almost thought this looked kind of close to Lunar. So I wanted to show the different colors next to it so you could see. To start, I wanted to show the original Warhead Seamless. These were my first Miracle leggings next to the Ultraviolet Miracle leggings. And you can see that when you look next to each other, they're very close, but because there's that heathered effect of that pop rocks in the Ultraviolet, that's what I think makes it appear a little bit darker. To me, when I first saw the colorway, like I said, this almost looked like Lunar, but when I see them next to each other, I can see where the Warhead Seamless is coming into play. The Seamless Warhead is different than the Newbury Warhead, and I can show that as well. So here's the Ultraviolet Ombre next to the Warhead Seamless next to the Newbury Warhead, and you can see the Newbury Warhead is quite more, I guess, pigmented and darker, I would say. So when you can see it next to this, you can see they're not super close. The Seamless is closer. Here I have Lunar next to the Warhead Seamless next to the Ultraviolet Seamless, and you can kind of see again how Warhead looks a little bit closer. Again, there's not an exact color match to this top color here, but you could see how it would also look nice with this outfit all together. I think it has a nice blend, and when you get further down here, that looks kind of close to Lunar as it's going into that ombre effect. But overall, you can kind of see how they all compare here. Here is Grape Juice Seamless next to the Ultraviolet Seamless, and you can see again, I think Grape Juice is a nice colorway. The bottom ultimately is pop rocks, but I think it is a nice just color combo in general. And here is Newbury Grape Juice next to the Seamless Grape Juice. You can see there's a significant difference. This is darker, but I think the Grape Juice next to the Ultraviolet combo, again, is a really nice color combo if you don't want to wear a specific seamless matching bra and you want to have different color options to go with it. And lastly, here is pop rocks next to the Ultraviolet Ombre This is in butter fabric, but you can see they go together really nicely. So that is a beautiful colorway option there as well if you want to, again, try to mix and match. I'm not afraid of mixing and matching fabrics, but I know some women prefer to have it be the same fabric. But here are some different options I think would look really nice with it. Here is the Pop Rocks t-shirt from this collection. You can see it next to the butter Pop Rocks. They're just a little different, not perfectly matched, but I think it is a nice combo next to the Ultraviolet Ombre if you wanted to pair these together too. All right, next I wanted to go through the Candy Floss Ombre. This is another beautiful ombre option. I think it is my second favorite next to the Ultraviolet. It is supposed to be Pop Rocks down into cotton candy, but when you look at the pink again, it's got that heathered effect on it. So it changes, I feel like, what the color is supposed to be at the top. So next to grape juice, this is what it looks like. I feel like it is a not bad option to pair with it, and I actually took pictures with this together because I thought it was a cute option. I also wore it with Candy Crush, so again, not a perfect colorway, but I think blends nicely. It's giving mermaid or almost unicorn vibes, if you will. Here is Pop Rocks next to it, so you can see Pop Rocks is again not a perfect match. It is, this almost comes off more pink to me than the Pop Rocks, and so you could pair it with that, or the bottom is supposed to be cotton candy. I don't have a cotton candy piece, unfortunately, but I wanted to show the bottom next to Playa. This is from the Vita collection. I feel like not right next to each other, it could be an option. This does have a little bit more green than the cotton candy color on the bottom, but here is just cotton candy, or excuse me, the Candy Floss next to a couple different colorway options. Here I wanted to show the Playa Ombre next to the different colorways that it is supposed to be. So it is supposed to go from Playa down to Mar. These were the colors from the Vita collection, a collaboration with Teresa. And here is the Dream Heather Playa. It's the only Playa I have. So you can see they're relatively close at the top here. And then the bottom is Mar, and they're relatively close. Again, they're not a perfect match, but I think these would be good combos if you don't want to have, again, the specific matching bra. And then I pulled this one out. This, I think, was Aqua Dreams. If I have that name wrong, I'll correct it on the screen here. But this was from the Dream House collection when they did the Dream House little restock capsule. And I thought it was also a nice pairing option as well. I think it's relatively close to the bottom. Again, not a perfect match, but something just fun to pair with it. All right, to get started with the review, we're going with the real meat and potatoes of the collection here, and that was the Miracle Shorts. The Miracle Shorts and the Miracle Bottoms were the highlight of this collection. The Miracle Shorts did not make it for the original Juicy collaboration with Bailey Stewart last year. They kept working on them because they needed a little bit more TLC, and they were worth the wait, I have to say. I originally was afraid of trying the Miracle leggings in Bailey's original collaboration. They just seemed a little wonky to me. I'm also not the biggest fan of seamless, if I'm being honest. And they tweaked them, brought them back in Unbreakable. Those colors were enough to entice me, and I've reviewed those in my previous review videos. I also grabbed a ombre full legging for the Strong AF collection as well, because there were some tweaks from the Unbreakable version to the Strong AF launch. But here I wanted to go through the shorts first to start. So I got 3 different colorways, if you couldn't tell. Ultraviolet Ombre, Candy Floss Ombre, and then the Playa Ombre. This is a very interesting short, especially if you're someone who has never tried the glute enhancing seamless shorts. It can be pretty scary. I mean, look at that, you know, those butt pouches is what I like to call them. They're very interesting. So the thing about Miracle Seamless is that it has this thinner area that looks like a little pocket for your glute, and then it's got ribbing underneath the cheeks to help compress and lift the cheek, if you will. And then on the side, it also comes up and wraps around the side. What I like with this seamless versus the form seamless shorts that I got is that this has more of that glute contour on the top of the glute, and the form seamless and some of the other seamless I've seen is just a straight across line, and to me just isn't as enhancing, if you will, for the glute. So my typical Buffbunny sizing for bottoms is a size small, and that is what I went with for these shorts. I have previously gotten small and extra small in the Miracle leggings because the fit was a little different than these are now, but based on the reviews I saw, I wanted to stick true to size, and I think I am happy with that overall. I will say I feel like the Playa was a little bit looser and stretchier than, say, the Candy Floss or the Ultraviolet Ombre, and colorways are going to have a little bit different of a stretch just because of the way the dye acts on the fabric, so keep that in mind. But overall, I still think the size small is my preferred size across the board. With these shorts and the leggings, but more so the leggings and the shorts, it does take some effort to get it into place, because when you first put it on, this part will be down here and it makes your whole back of your butt and your cheek look weird. I'm just gonna be honest. The compression part will want to stay down low, so I like to not use your nails but pinch the fabric in with both hands and kind of pull it up to hike it to be right under that glute. It's supposed to sit under there to help lift that cheek and help compress the under glute overall. When you look at the ribbing of the shorts, there's two layers on the shorts. You can see a finer ribbing on the top line and then a little bit change below that, so you've got those two different textures there, and then underneath that there's no ribbing. I believe Bailey really wanted this to have ribbing pretty much all the way down to help keep it compressed so that you get less of that little bulge effect once you get past the ribbing. I think that would be a nice update personally, as someone who's worn them now too. I think having just a little bit more compression go down a little bit more of the leg takes away that sausaging, bulging look. I don't think it's too bad in these, but it's something I wanted to mention. Also, this little top area here can get a little bit of wrinkling, and I'll sometimes get a little bit when I first put it on, or if I haven't worked out yet and I haven't gotten a glute pump, if you will, but I feel like that isn't super noticeable on these shorts. In the original leggings that I got in size small, I definitely had a little bit more wrinkling up on that top area, and I think they overall made the glute pouch pocket, if you will, smaller, which I think is a good change. I like that change. And then another thing they did is they raised the under glute compression up. Again, I really like that change because it just helps make it so you have less space in that glute pocket, if you will. And I do have longer glutes, I feel like, personally, but I still like that they shortened it overall because I think it just really helps enhance the assets, if you will. This is a nice image to have. They also have a short glute seam, so I like that over a scrunch. The Vita seamless shorts that I tried from the Vita collection, which I reviewed in my review video, has a scrunch, but the scrunch had to be wider to make sure it didn't rip, and it just, I don't necessarily like that shiny look on the crack. I feel like it just really draws the eye to your butt crack, and I don't really necessarily want that. I mean, these definitely draw your eye to your butt, like, whew, I don't need the extra shiny line on there, and it doesn't really sit into the cheeks very well in my experience or opinion. So I like just the shortened glute seam overall. I think that is my preferred seamless seam, if you will. Not that I, again, am a big seamless person, but I do really like these shorts. I think they really just, I mean, they make you feel really good about yourself if they work for you. They won't work for everybody. I've had some people that tried them and didn't love them. That's totally okay. That's why Buffbunny collection makes something for everybody, and the Newbury items, the Legacy 6-inch shorts, you can go that route. Overall though, I would say these are something that you should try. Give them a chance, especially if you are a fan of ombre. We don't get the pretty ombres in really much of anything, and so that was enough for me to be like, yes, I want to try the shorts and wear them when I can in the warm summer months and rock them. I would say I didn't feel like I had to adjust them really, and in the original Unbreakable leggings I did. The underglute compression wasn't as tight, and that was something that I wanted them to change moving forward, because it felt like that just wanted to slide down, and then the glute pocket was also bigger, so it just kept wanting to slide down and it wasn't very tight, so I constantly was having to like pinch and pull, and that's kind of how I situate it. You will feel, on me, I feel like a little bit of, you know, extra compression there, which is what you're supposed to feel to get that lifting effect, if you will, and I like that they increase that overall. The compression on the tummy I think is good. The original compression on the Unbreakable leggings, I felt the very first time I put them on was like, oh gosh, like that's really tight compared to the rest of it, and so I wasn't sure if I wanted to try a size down, because I was worried this would be too much and then that would be improved, but I didn't know if I could handle it. I did actually like the extra small in the Unbreakable fit version. Now in the new version I do like the size small, but I feel like the waist, it's snatching, but it's not unbearable. Like it's not, to me it doesn't feel as tight as the waistband on the Unbreakable leggings, if that makes sense. They also were trying to make it more of a mid-rise, but it definitely still fits, I would say, more like a high-rise. I also have no torso, I am mostly legs, so a lot of things fit higher on my stomach anyway, which I prefer. I like to be more covered and compressed, held in. Some of the waistbands in different colorways, I guess, don't go as high. For me, I don't tend to notice that as much. Again, being shorter waisted, it seems like they all hit me in relatively the same spot. I do think the leggings, and this is something the athletes shared as well, do sit a little bit lower, so keep that in mind. But overall, I think, like I said, you should definitely try a pair. They've got some really other fun colorways for the ombres. I think they did 17 colors, something around there, and they are just a fun way to change up your wardrobe. I will say, last thing, I am a power lifter. I work out in a grungy gym, and it has rough weights. You know, we're using barbells that are rubbing against our legs with deadlifts, everything. And I snagged my Playa Ombre shorts, which made me really sad. So I was doing Bulgarian split squats. I had a 70 in my hand, and when I went to put my leg back, it brushed against it and snagged it right down at the bottom here. I'll insert the video because you can clearly see the snag after it goes past it, which made me really sad because, you know, that, especially on seamless, can mess up the integrity of it and can maybe leave a hole. So I very gently cut the little snag that was sticking up, but you can really see now where it's at, that there is a line right there. So it definitely will affect the integrity over time. And even on the inside, see if I can find it. Yeah, on the inside, when you're looking at it, you can see that there's that raised line there, like that little line. That's where the snag is. So it definitely will weaken that over time. I feel I did, you know, stretch it, and I haven't noticed a hole forming, knock on wood, yet. But that made me really, really sad to see. So I personally prefer other fabrics as a power lifter. I know the strength pillar for Buffbunny collection is seamless, but as someone who is bigger chested and works out in a very rough gym, the seamless is not my favorite fabric, and I'm just being honest. The seamless bras do not support me nearly as well as the other bras, and the seamless fabric is so much more delicate to me versus Newbury. I would say butter, Butter can be delicate in its own right, but Nubri fabric is just a great fabric overall. So if that is something that will bother you, or you do work out in a very rough and tumble gym, keep that in mind, because the following week when I did the same workout, the Bulgarian split squats, I very gingerly moved the weights around myself to try to not put a hole in these shorts, because I was wearing these and I love this color more than this color. Not saying I don't love this color, I think this is fun too. I felt like a little aerial moment, but if I put a hole in these, I was gonna cry. So keep that in mind and let me know what colorways you snag. All right, next up we have the Miracle Seamless Leggings, and as I mentioned in my review of the shorts, they have made fit updates, and I think the fit updates for this, it makes it more true to size, and I do like what they did change. So this again has those glute pockets, if you will, the under glute compression. Now something different from this to the shorts is that the under glute compression does have those two lines there, but then there is some ribbing underneath that goes down to about, I'd say mid thigh, maybe 3/4 of the way down on your thigh. And so the shorts don't have that. They just have the two ribbing lines there, and then it's just regular fabric. So I do like that there is a little bit more just of compression and maybe cellulite coverage if you are worried about that on the legging versus the shorts. So again, as I mentioned with the shorts, what they did from the Unbreakable launch to this launch is they shortened the glute pocket. So they raised the under glute compression up, they made this smaller, and then they also increased the under glute compression, which was something that I had feedback for in the original fit. I felt like this didn't do very much and it felt like it wanted to continually slide on me. And so with these, I didn't feel like I had to adjust them, I really feel like at all. But the original fit of the, I would say the second generation fit of the Miracle leggings, I did. So they had the first generation Juicy Miracle leggings. They made some changes to that to the Unbreakable second generation, which is the ones I tried. And now this is the third generation. And I think this is where, don't quote me on this, but I think this is where it will stay. I don't know, they might make some changes again moving forward. I know Bailey really wanted them to be more of a mid-rise fit. Personally, for me, I feel like I have a little bit of like a pooch right here. Like this is like my uterus or something, I don't know. And I like being more covered. I don't like having it lower because I feel like when they're lower rise, they roll more on me than higher rise. So I'm just putting that out there. I prefer the more high rise. Overall, I am happy with my true to size small in the leggings. I think they are, again, another really just nice piece to try. Get yourself out there. If you really want to feel like you've put in the work for your glutes, these leggings really just help enhance them, if you will. I'll do a side-by-side comparison of the Unbreakable size small compared to the Unbreakable size extra small compared to these size small. I think, again, like I said, this is the best of the size small and the extra small from the Unbreakable version. Overall, they've got all the same beautiful colors that they do in the shorts. I believe, I want to say again, 17 colors. So if you're someone who likes some more fun colors, go for that. If you're someone who likes some more neutral colors, they have those too. And definitely let Bailey know how much you love them, because I know that the Miracle leggings and the shorts were her baby, and she did an amazing job working with Buffbunny Collection on giving us some nice just leggings and shorts to help really enhance those assets, if you will. Here we have the Aggressive Scrunch 7-inch short. I have grown to really like these shorts. At first, I wasn't sure, and I originally got them when they first launched in the Juicy collaboration with Bailey Stewart last year, and I got them in a size medium because I was worried that there was going to be too much tension on the crotch, because some ladies explained and felt like they were getting more camel toe issues with it, as well as it, I think, used to fit a little bit lower, and I think the rise on it has increased, which I'm not mad about. I know some ladies don't prefer that, but again, the more coverage, the happier I am. Steve Urkel, you know, and I knew that. Yeah, bring the shorts and the bottoms up on me. That's what I am more comfortable with. So I love this grape juice color, if you can't tell from my other reviews. So I wanted to get it in grape juice, and then they came out with tie-dye patterns. So originally in Juicy, there was peach rings, honeydew, and blue bubble colorway. And they had made these bottoms in those colorways, but they were too sheer. So what they ended up doing is they ended up making them tie-dye so that they were wearable. I went with the peach rings. I have a peach rings bra, and so I really like the purple and orange combo, if you will, and felt like it would just be a fun colorway to try. And I didn't feel like they were too sheer. I'll show a comparison of me wearing these with these, as well as the original size medium, because I have now switched to a size small in my preferred aggressive scrunch size, my true to size small. I feel like originally when the butter bottoms came out, because this is made of butter, the crotch tension was tighter, and it seems like that has improved as well. Maybe it's because they made them a little bit higher rise, and so when I put them to where I want them to sit, they're pulling on my crotch less. I do feel like butter also, especially with this aggressive scrunch seam, does tend to relax over time. So that is something to keep in mind too. So I would say you're safe to do your true to size. If you're someone who struggles with camel toe, wearing a panty liner could be an option for you. I don't tend to have that issue. When you look at the scrunch though, I know this can be scary, right? You look at that and you go, oh, like that's aggressive, right? Hey. But what happens is it's what they call an inclusive scrunch, so it tends to stretch out as you wear it, and it really just goes into the cheeks nicely, and you don't get that puckered butthole effect, right? I always think that's not my personal favorite look, and you don't get that with these because it is stretchy. When you look on the inside, there is an elastic seam that they sewed the scrunch to that stretches, so that's why that goes away, which is nice. And the butter fabric itself, and I've mentioned this in my other reviews, has improved as well. It used to be very, very pillable, very delicate. I mean, I would wear a seat belt and it would pill across my belly, and it doesn't do that anymore. So whatever they did with the butter has improved that. So if you've been avoiding it, now I would still say brushing that dumbbell that I did against my seamless shorts would probably still pill it as well. It is not as durable as, say, Newbury, but it is better than what it was when it originally launched. I think this one just really makes the glutes look nice again. Bailey Stewart is all about really making those assets just look great. And so if you're someone who is a little afraid of this, don't be. It is definitely more, it's not as scary as you think. I used to be afraid of it, but now I really like it. It does sit a little bit lower on me than I would say Legacy, but I think it sits higher than what they originally launched as. So I would say they are a high rise, I believe is what they're labeled as. They came out with lots of pretty colors. They came out with the honeydew tie-dye, which is a green, blue bubbles tie-dye, which is blue, peach rings, grape juice, and a beautiful color called Atari, which is a beautiful green. And then they also have it in some other colorways as well on the website, because it is a very popular short / bottom. All right, we are moving into the Halter seamless sports bra. As you can see, I am wearing one and I have one here that still has the tags on it. So sometimes when I am unsure about a size, I order a size medium and a size large to see what will work better for me, because it can be hard to tell, especially on ladies who have enhanced chests. They act completely different than natural chests. Nothing wrong with that, but it's just matter of fact. My boobs squish, they move around. So I got a size medium because I am in between a medium and a large, and honestly, my ribcage is probably more a size small, so I tend to struggle with that. This sports bra was originally launched in the Catherine collaboration, the No Filter launch back in April of last year. Yes. And it was quite different than it is now. It was much more short lined. They honestly added length, and I think the boob space itself was smaller. I know Bailey, this was a second collaboration for her, and she wasn't as happy with the changes. As someone who is a BTC, I loved it because I love the scrunch look. I think it's such a cute design feature on sports bras, and a lot of the scrunch sports bras are smaller, and then I cannot wear them. Like, it's way too much. I would not be comfortable. This, even at times, sometimes I'm like, ooh, that's a good amount of cleavage on me. So I was happy to see that they increased the coverage. And as a halter sports bra, I really haven't been able to wear a lot of the halter bras from Buffbunny collection because they just put too much pressure on the neck. I have no support because the weight of my chest wants to drop down. And what I really like that they did with this sports bra, and they've done it with other sports bras, is they have this detachable back strap here to help with taking the tension off the neck, and it is adjustable, so you can make it longer or shorter, so it helps with that. And then if someone can wear it as a halter, there is a detachable loop here, I can get it, that it comes off, and then you have a complete open back moment. In another lifetime, I could probably do that. I can't do that in this lifetime. I would break my neck, probably, figuratively. So I like that they have that option. I will say I do tighten it all the way on the size large. The size medium did not have enough cup coverage for me at all. It was bad. And it being a little bit shorter than this, I'll pop a picture of the medium on top of the large, and you can see the difference. I just almost was popping out the bottom. Now I will say, technically the boob area on this ends right here, and my boob is down here. I still need more space, and I also have found that seamless does stretch as you wear it, right? And so as it stretches, I feel like my boob tends to drop down a little bit more because it's just the weight of it. So I kind of have to go under and lift up and pull, and then it sits a little bit higher, but it does naturally just want to drop down over time. Thankfully it is longer, so I don't get under boob popping out. That's perfect for me. I need that because I'm Chelsea long boob, I guess. Like, I just need a lot of space for that area, and I feel like I don't really have side boob in this one, like a little bit, but it's a good amount of coverage. The medium, it fit my ribcage nicely, but then everywhere else was just like, that boob's not covering, or that boob's not covered. So sadly, I would prefer the ribcage tightness on this one, but everything else I need the large for. And when I tighten the strap all the way, it does help really take tension off my neck. Like, I feel like the halter strap on the Highlight Newbury cropped tank that came out in Unbreakable bothered my neck more than this, so keep that in mind. This, though, I did feel like over time this part of the straps tended to, like, especially on my clavicles, irritate me just a little bit. I wouldn't say this is a bra you could wear all day. I wore it for a workout, and I was in it for a while, and it definitely did feel like it was rubbing on there a bit. So keep that in mind. As seamless sports bras go, it's a nice option. I've really not had a lot of great luck with seamless sports bras. I tried the Synergy seamless, tried the medium, it didn't work. And then the Form reversible seamless, I got it in a large thinking, because I wanted to wear it the reverse way, that I needed the large, but it is too big and too stretchy. Now that I've had a chance to try the medium on when I was down in Houston last November, if I ever go for the form seamless again, form reversible seamless, I would do a size medium because, yeah, the large is just too loose, and then it stretches because it's seamless, and then I have no support whatsoever. And then the Vita Seamless Sports Bra, I did like that one as well. But again, I do feel like I get a good amount of cleavage and just boobage in that one. This, I like that there isn't somewhat of an adjustable feature, because when seamless stretches, I feel like the straps don't support as much. So the fact that I can at least tighten this to help with that and help with some lift is perfect. Is it my favorite sports bra? No. Like Candy Wrap, hands down, is my favorite one. I feel the most supported, the most cute. But this is also just a nice option for the BTC. A light to medium support. I wouldn't be jumping around in this. It's boobs would be flying everywhere, and we don't want that. But nice for a good lifting workout for sure. And I like that it comes up in that, you know, triangle up higher, so that I don't feel like if I bend over, I would spill my boobs out onto a platter, if you will. So I prefer my size large. I would say stick true to size. Otherwise, if you're a BTC member like me, then you probably need to go with your larger size if you need the cup coverage. But they did improve the cup coverage from its original launch. I would say increase it, maybe not necessarily improve it if you're a BTC or an itty bitty titty command. Yeah. If you're ITBC, you wouldn't necessarily label it as improved, but BTC, it's more. So definitely check it out and let me know what you think. I really like the ombre colorways. Again, ultraviolet, I had to snag it. All right, here we have the Butter Bandeau crop. This originally launched in Bailey's collaboration last year, and they brought it back in more beautiful colors. They did do some sizing updates, so I will go over that. But I really liked this option for the BTC because, as I would call this a tube top, but bandeaus go, being myself, I can't really wear anything strapless unless there's support in the bodice itself. This top doesn't necessarily have that, but what it has is the removable halter strap, if you will. I use this to really help me be able to wear it because it does have this adjustable feature, so I can tighten it and really give me more lift. Now, that being said, this isn't a top, again, I would wear it all day long because it would just be too much tension on my neck, but for going out to dinner and going to do something lifestyle, I think it is a nice option. I don't work out in these tops because I just don't have enough support, but for a lifestyle option for myself, I really do like it. Sizing updates. So I got a size medium now. In the original launch, I got a size large. I reviewed it in my very first YouTube review ever on Buffbunny collection for the Juicy collaboration. And now what they did is they, I think, opened up the top area, making it a little bit less tight fitting. And so some people prefer the size up in the original launch because it fit more tight up here, which I understand, because if you want to be able to wear it strapless, like, it still needs to be tight there. So I went with a size large. In tanks like the Crystal Crop and other tanks from Buffbunny collection, I prefer usually my size medium, but I went with a size large originally, and I like the fit of that. Now, they opened up the top, and then they also reinforced this area here because a lot of people on the original version, this loop part wasn't very strong and it broke, and so people couldn't use this anymore. I, knock on wood, didn't have that happen to me because I was very, very careful with how I would take it out. And truthfully, I don't wear those tops a ton because they're more a lifestyle top for me again. And I also, having a larger chest, got to think about what I'm about to go do and for how long I'm going to do it, for how long I can wear this, right? I actually just wore this top for going out to dinner for my birthday the other day and took some pictures and felt really cute in it. So now I prefer my size medium. Another reason I can wear this top is because it has a built-in shelf bra. If it didn't have this, I probably wouldn't even attempt to wear this because I can't, this does not have enough support without a shelf bra in it. And obviously you don't really want to wear a bra in it because it is strapless, kind of tube top, right? So I like that they had the built-in shelf bra. It's not everyone's favorite. The shelf bra goes all the way around to the back, so that you might see that line effect in the back. For me, again, usually tops with built-in shelf bras, a size medium is what I need. Other t-shirts like the rainforest crop, I get a size small in. That's a looser fitting top. That's fine. Got it. Nice catch. So it does have built-in removable pads too that you can take out on the side here, and I just prefer, like I said, having that under bust support and not just it being the neck or even this top grip here. So that is another feature that is really nice, is that they have this silicone grip that goes all the way around, so it helps keep it in place. If you are someone who is smaller chested, then you might most likely not even need this halter strap, and you can wear it because of that silicone. So I would say it's now more true to size. I would stick with your true to size, and if you got it in the original launch and you liked how that fit, maybe size down one. I know Gabrielle Tongle said the same thing. She preferred a size large originally, and now she prefers a size medium. I think they did also just make it a little bit shorter this way, and I can show a comparison of that as well. Lastly, we got some fun graphic t-shirts for the collaboration, and it just says strong in this kind of melting effect. Buffbunny collection is right there in cursive. It's smaller, so it's not as in your face, and I really liked the Pop Rocks colorway, so that's why I snagged it. It came also, I want to say, in cotton candy, which is also pretty, and then white with a multicolored word option as well. So I really wanted to grab this more pinky purple color because I wear a lot of Pop Rocks purple, and it's just a nice pump cover, simple. It is that softer cotton, so keep that in mind. It starts at size small through, I'm not sure what the top sizing is, I'll put that on the screen, but the smallest size is a size small, and it does have that kind of oversized fit, so I prefer my size small. I wouldn't personally want to size up, but I also don't really like oversized fits. So I know some ladies go way up in size because they want it to feel like a dress on them, and can't go wrong with a nice pump cover. I use t-shirts for squatting, so it's just a nice option for me for that. Thank you for watching my Buffbunny collection YouTube review of the Strong AF collaboration with Bailey Stewart. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, again, please comment down below. Let Buffbunny collection know that, hey, we would like to see a code from Chelsea. I would love to be a Buffbunny athlete and be able to help give you guys more feedback and maybe get stuff ahead of time to be able to give you reviews. And if you want to follow me over on Instagram, it's ChelseaCourtland93. You'll see me wearing these pieces, you'll see life, you'll see some wedding updates here soon. And please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!